Wendy D here again with Pure Jeevan, and we have Leela Mata here. In America here, most people associate yoga with the asanas, the exercises. So can you tell us a little bit about, just an overview of the different levels of yoga, and then also...
Well, there are different kinds of yoga to suit the different personalities. For instance, if someone is very devotional or emotional, we learn how to turn our emotion into devotion. This is called Bhakti Yoga. And everyone has feelings, so it's appropriate at some level of life to practice some aspects of Bhakti Yoga. Then there's Karma Yoga, which teaches us how to use our actions, something we all cannot avoid. We have to act. Yeah? But actions can be very binding. But through yoga, we learn how to act in such a way that our actions can become liberating. Another thing we all human beings do is they think. Thinking is part of our whole nature. We can't avoid it. So if we study Raja Yoga, we learn how to bring a cessation to our thought waves, how to control the mind. So you become the boss rather than mind being your boss. Yeah, right now the mind is dictating to us everything. Mind and senses is leading our lives. But through the practice of Raja Yoga, we learn how we can be the master of the mind. And this is a very, very beautiful thing to be able to do. Yeah? Then there's another level of yoga called Jnana Yoga, so yoga of knowledge. It's considered like the elite aspect of yoga because one needs to have a lot of preparation. You must have already gone through a lot of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga to arrive at that ripening stage where you can really discriminate very carefully about this world as what is real and what is not real. And this is what Jnana Yoga is based on. However, we find that Hatha Yoga, which is an aspect of Raja Yoga, is very popular. And it's understandable because we become very concerned about our health as a first level in our growth. Everyone wants to be healthy. Because we realize if you're not healthy, no matter what you have, it doesn't mean very much. You cannot really enjoy it. So we need to be healthy. And this is the impulse that makes people move towards Hatha Yoga. And once you become involved in Hatha Yoga, the process of yoga is such that it awakens in you the capacity to ask and to want to know more about life. And it shows you, it gives you a peep into your own happiness. And so then people become very involved, they continue to become more and more interested. It's a beautiful introduction. And we offer that here, in America, Hatha Yoga is the biggest thing. And it's a kind of yoga people understand. But once they get involved in that, then they want to know the other aspects. Because yoga is really self-study. Self-study, becoming your own master, allowing the mind to get in its proper place, to be disciplined.
And so our blog is all about raw foods. And so how does diet help or hinder yoga, Hatha Yoga?
Yeah, Hatha Yoga, one aspect of Hatha Yoga actually is a diet. And it prescribes a pure diet. A pure diet is one that will help you to remove toxins from the body. And when toxins are removed from the body, which in Ayurveda we call it ama, when ama is removed from the body becomes more flexible naturally. Yeah? So if one is just looking for flexibility, even just that, a proper diet, a good diet, a cleansing diet will help it. Yeah? So a good diet is especially helpful. And we always encourage people. At first you would cut out the meat and the heavy stuff, and then little by little you can progress towards a raw food diet.
And so you teach, definitely, I know you teach the Hatha Yoga here. And do you teach all of the other branches of yoga as well? Yes,
and that's what makes it the ashram. Yeah, at an ashram we do it's a comprehensive form of lifestyle discipline. So in the mornings we're up at 6 o'clock and we have a meditation. Yeah, we meditate for half an hour in silence, or sometimes I guide it. After that we have some chanting, which is an aspect of Bhakti Yoga. Then we may have a discussion, a talk. It can be in any aspect of yoga or life. As a matter of fact, when I say yoga, it's really, I'm equated with life, because it's a life study. It's how to live your life in a happy, healthy way. So any aspect of life or any subject we talk about is always linked to yoga. Then after that, we have our yoga asana class, and lunch, and more like a brunch because around 10 o'clock. And then after that we go off to our work, which we call Karma Yoga. Because most of the people here are actually doing volunteer work, you know, in exchange for learning and studying.
Yeah, can you explain a little bit more about Karma Yoga?
Karma Yoga is that aspect of yoga that involves working, but working with a special attitude, with the attitude of service, of giving, of sharing, so that your selfishness can diminish and you can start awakening to your higher self, that unselfish nature. And so when you're involved in a work that is not full of expectations and tensions and stress, you experience another level of what you're capable of. You can really find out and see how you can be so creative and so productive when you're without these stresses. And this is what Karma Yoga is asking us to do. It says, do the work, and the result is there anyway. So why do we worry about it? Yeah, don't become anxious about what will happen. Put all that attention into the work itself, and then your work will be of a superior quality, and there will be no doubt as to the success. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
but when we spend more than half our energy worrying about it, then the action itself is depleted of energy and cannot be successful. Yeah, then our worrying becomes successful. And you know what happens when worrying is successful. Yeah.
So when people come here, I think it's really interesting. As soon as they come as Karma Yogis, they're addressed as you're a Karma Yogi.
Oh yes, of course. We welcome anyone who would like to come here and serve, and at the same time they're working on themselves. That's
Right.
that's what the real work is. This working, you know, in the ashram is just like almost like an external thing. The real work is what you're doing on yourself. But through the ashram, you're able to do that work on yourself. And I think it's really beautiful to be able to be involved in a project like this, which can grow into many different directions, and to be at the beginning of it. Yeah, like to be like one of the foundation stones. I think that's nice. It's you know, sometimes we still have, for instance, Jim, and when you're here, you can come back and say, well, look at that. And every time someone comes, I say, this was built by Jim. Yeah, this bookshelf we have over there.
So
Maybe
we'll
you'll
have
get
to
a picture of that.
We'll have to show a little bit of video of that. Jim came and did some Karma Yogi work.
That's right. You came here, and that's something that's been living there for a long time. And it also, I feel, makes you feel at home when you come here, because there's something here that is so close to you.
But I felt at home from the moment I arrived.
People can come and just do a project. They can come and stay for a longer time. They can even make it their home for life.